Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Shock Talk. Man, we have our second edition of Baja recap for you. Couldn't fit everybody who won at the table in one session, so we had to make room for our next set of guests. We'll go through the table here and introduce everyone. We have Nathan, our premier race tuner. He works in our off-road department, does all of our motorsports tuning, was at the race, and actually has some good stories to tell today about the race. Actually got to sit in the driver's seat, I hear. Mm-hmm. We have Kaden and Emma. They are Risk Racing. They achieved an amazing win at the race. I'm going to call it a win-win because it was to me. The story was so amazing. I don't know if anybody else watched the in-car camera footage, but I was hooked as soon as the camera came on. So welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I know that this is a busy time right after the race. You got holidays coming up, so we really appreciate you guys joining us today. So excited, but I know we have a lot of stories. So let's start with the basic stories. We kind of talked a little bit before we turned the cameras on, but let's go through it again. So I think people really want to get to know you guys because you're such a great couple and you're such a great race team. So kind of give us a breakdown of how you got into racing. We'll let you go one at a time. You choose who goes first, and then we'll talk about some other things.
Rock, paper, scissors. No, I'm just kidding. You can go.
I originally started racing pedal bikes and then kind of got out of that and then ended up going through high school. And then right at the end of high school, our neighbor started a UTV shop. And, my dad's like, hey, you want to try this? And me and my brother both started racing, and it went from short course and then escalated into desert racing. And, it brings us, that was our 9th 1,000 this year. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot. And
the ripe age of 27.
Exactly. I mean, for such a young guy, yeah. I mean, he's going to have a great long career. So pedal bikes is BMX bikes?
Yeah, we would do nationals all over the country, and then we ended up going to Worlds one year in Australia and ended up wrecking out of that one. So didn't do too well there, but it was a good experience.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. I mean, it seems like a lot of guys that are successful in off-road racing have some sort of BMX background. It just seems like it gets in your blood. The corners, the turns, the speed, gauging, how fast or how slow to go into corners. It just seems like that, or motorcycles, one or the two or both, really just launches them into off-road racing.
Yeah, I think it has a ton, especially like corners and corner speed and what lines you're taking. I think it helps with all of it.
Yeah, especially if it's your body powering the bike. You can't afford to lose any energy. I mean, I remember watching BMX races, and it's just like, wait, that is insane. The amount of energy, the burst speeds that you have to make to get through those jumps and things like that. So that's very interesting. Yeah. Super cool.
It was a lot of fun.
All right, it's your turn.
Yeah, my dad was involved in off-road racing in like the 70s and 80s, so I just grew up hearing stories about him and thought it was so cool and wanted to be involved. But I was involved in synchronized swimming growing up and then water polo in college. So I was busy doing my own sports.
Women's water polo?
Women's water
polo. Even though that was a thing.
Yeah. I was doing synchronized swimming, and I had a chance of, moving away at a young age to train harder and try to make something out of it. And I decided I wanted a more normal high school experience, and I didn't want to move, and it was just super stressful. Long story short, my water polo coach was like, oh, a synchronized swimmer, you must have really strong legs. Come on, play water polo. And my mom was like, absolutely not. You're going to get hit in the face. That's too manly. And here I am in a very male-dominated sport, getting blasted with mud.
Yeah.
But I'm not getting hit in the face, so that's a positive. Except for we did have a rock hit me in the head today.
I was going to say, I watched that on the in-camera during the race. You're like, bonk, oh, something just hit me.
That was so weird. I've always thought about, what if somebody threw something in here? That would be crazy, but it actually hit me this time. I was not ready for it. But, my dad, I got my first race was when I was 13. I navigated then. Always thought I wanted to be a driver, but my dad was like, oh, well, you have to work your way up the ranks, and we were a small dad-uncle team, not a ton of funding or money. when after I graduated college, they were trying to get into it.
What class were they racing?
They were in UTVs as well.
Okay.
I think they started in turbo before my dad started working for Score and started the pro stock class. So, yeah, and then they went to a pro stock. Anyway, I was navigating for them. One of my first races was Nora, so they had a road book, and I think that's kind of where I started reading terminology. I didn't really have any clue what I was doing. I didn't know how to run a GPS, nothing. And then just a lot of hours in the car with Kaden, kind of refining what he needs and what I need. And
I was super impressed with, I watched a lot of rally racing as a kid growing up, so your style is very similar to rally racing, and just I kept thinking to myself, I can't believe how much time they must have spent pre-running to have notes like that. I mean, you were calling out a rock coming up on your left, and you had all the speeds and gears that you should be in the corners. That is,
it's a busy job being a navigator.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
They're just constantly just working.
I know, and it's like, so do you watch any of the Cars Vitals, or are you watching the Cars Vitals?
We have a screen in the center.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Both people kind of
Yeah.
watch, engine temp and, do what's going on and things like that. And, so that, I mean, in a rally car, the navigator is also responsible for watching, okay, your engine's overheating or, your corner speed's too high, but she's doing all that too. But what an incredible amount of work. Now, don't forget, you're the one that gets out and changes the spare tire, right?
well, Kaden and I both do it.
Okay.
We kind of figured that it's way quicker as a team. I would say my strong suit as a navigator is the electronics and being in the seat and calling the corners and working with him. My weakest point is probably my arm strength. So he's very quick and fast at that. So
Yeah.
together.
So that's a lot of work getting out of the car. I mean, I watched you guys get in and out once or twice, and all the harnesses and belts and buckles, and it's very rare that a driver gets out. Once he's buckled in, he's there for 30 hours till the race is done, and there's a lot of things that happen in that driver's seat that we can't talk about on the camera because it's 30 hours long, right?
Yeah.
My wife says, I wonder how they go to the bathroom, and I'm like, I knew she was going to ask me this. I'm like, have you ever heard it depends?
Well, I recently posted a video on Instagram thinking it's a common question. I didn't think so many people outside of the sport would be interested. But yeah, I actually don't even wear Depends. I just pee my pants.
Yep.
And Kaden was the one that taught me through it at one of the mint races. He was like, you got to go or else you're not going to make it.
Yeah, you're going to be uncomfortable,
Yeah, and so you just kind of go and use some water to rinse it out.
Yep.
And I think Brad got in the seat
He's
after
like,
me.
oh, man.
Yeah, didn't know, and I was like, "Oh man, I thought somebody would have told him." But he sat down and was like, "That's warm in here."
Yeah, nice. I like this.
It's a little. Why am I wet?
Yeah, people don't understand that. You can't stop to get out and go to the bathroom. You just got to keep going.
Yeah.
So one other thing I want to point out before we start telling stories about the race is that, or I want you guys to share. I saw some Instagram photos of you basically getting engaged on top of a race car.
Yeah.
How did that come about? Like, did you plan that ahead of time, or
Yeah.
you had to have?
I got a ring. I always told her, I was like, when you graduate, then we can worry about that or whatever. So, but then I ended up getting a ring and held on to it for a few months. And then I think I was talking to my brother, I'm like, how cool it'd be, like, be on a podium and score and like propose. And then once I said it, like, everyone was like, oh, you gotta do it.
Gotta do
So
it.
it's like, all right, well, I gotta figure out how to get this thing to Mexico, like, without being inspected or anything.
Right.
But we got it, and then it was at San Felipe 250, first race down there, and the race was doing okay, and then it had like a little couple little issues, so we moved back to third or something, and then like 50 miles out we'd moved back in the lead, and I was like, oh crap, like I'm gonna have to do this, like,
This is it.
I'm committed on it. And then sure enough we finished, and I was like not even stressing the interview, I was just like, holy cow, this is gonna be like a huge deal.
Didn't even care you won the race.
Yeah, I was sweating. Normally I'm like relaxed
Joe
or
cool,
whatever,
yeah.
and I was just like, oh god, this is big. But yeah, ended up proposing. Got there. One of our friends took her to get a margarita, so I did the ring swap with my mom, and the race suit pocket's really small, so I put the box in there, and then I don't know if you've seen the video. When you get up, I actually was struggling to get it out of my pocket while I was just spraying the champagne, and then I finally got it.
And spraying the champagne.
I know you had the ring box because I saw the lid open. So I was wondering if you carried that in your race suit the whole race, or if you got that afterwards, or.
That's a lot of people thought I carried it, but I did a quick swap at the finish.
Oh, that's incredible. And how about you? What did you think about this whole thing?
Oh, I had no clue. I was just be bopping around, happy with my margarita, happy with I think we won that one. I had no clue, and then I was very surprised. I was like, why don't you want to spray, in my head, why don't you want to spray the champagne? Like, I'm not normally in charge of this. Like, anyway, I didn't do a great job, but yeah, I was surprised, and I'm super happy with how it went. My mom doesn't really make it down to the races often, but she was watching the live stream, so she could watch it. His family and friends at home can watch it. Apparently his whole side of the family knew because they were all watching.
Yeah. I mean, you did it right. Down on one knee on the top of a race car. It doesn't get any better than that. I mean, made my wife jealous for sure. I'm in trouble now. But yeah, that's so cool. I think, a lot of your fans are wondering, like, how does this all happen? How do you do this? How do you put this together? So it's an amazing story. Now we'll get on to the next amazing story, which was the race itself. So my first question is, how long did you guys spend pre-running?
I went down a few days before, and I think I spent about eight or 9 days pre-running, and then Emma had come down about a week before and started pre-running. So.
Yeah, and then we had previous race notes
from
the years before that we were able to kind of lay over this year's course. Just because I wasn't able to be there for all of the days, it just gave a good starting point. Obviously, things change with rain and weather and the way the course flows, but at least it's something. That way you can edit the note instead of just starting from scratch. Usually the first day I get one set of notes, and then the second day will be refinement. Mm-hmm. You can't catch everything because you're still typing one note as you go past the next corner. So yeah, it was just a nice starting point, I think.
Yeah. It helped a lot, actually.
I was just thinking, think about being an Ironman driver with no navigator. And I was looking out the front window of your car through the camera, and she's telling you, okay, go this way, go that way, stay left, stay right. And I'm looking at 10 race lines at sometimes, and I'm going, how do you possibly, that one doesn't look like the right one, but he's on that one. How do we know that's the right one? Emma said that's the right one, right? So I'm like, okay, it's just crazy. And then that ends up being the best one, and the other lines were all wrecked in big potholes and all kinds of stuff like that. So it was so confusing watching out the front of the driver's window, even hearing you call out what to do. I'm like, why would he go that way?
Which one is it?
Yeah. Which one of these 10 lines?
He's amazing at memorizing things. We'll go over a section and be like, oh, that rock moved. And I'm like,
trophy truck hit it.
Okay. I don't even know what rock that was, but line choice, everything. He really boy wonder or whatever.
Yeah, that's a driver for you, right? That's BMX taught him that. Can't hit that little rock in the corner because it's going to spit your front tire out and you won't make it around. You'll crash. So that's really super cool. Now, did you guys know about the torrential rain ahead of time, or was that just a complete surprise?
My dad was following it on the radar quite a bit. Yeah. I wasn't paying attention to the weather, and then he's like, oh, we got a big old storm coming in, and luckily it started moving more north towards the end, and we only got it on the second day of the race.
Right. So if you drew a line directly north from where the race was at, you'd end up in my town, which is the direction the storm was going. We got 5.5, 6 inches on the rain gauge just that day.
Wow.
So there was a lot of water coming down. And, of course, I think you guys got through before it got really bad. Mm-hmm. But they had already closed the wash before you went through, I think, right? Yeah. So that was a river. Mm-hmm. A wash becomes a river when it rains. So, yeah, that was insane. All right. So I'm going to let Nathan chat for a bit.
Yeah.
You were at the race, Nathan, and you helped these guys. And they won a championship and got second in the race. What do you have to say about all this?
I mean, these guys have been obviously doing good all year, and the 1,000's a big race for them. And I think Kaden was probably thinking about soloing it, But I don't know. Then he kind of like started talking about maybe
his
getting
wife's sitting right there.
maybe getting a second driver and like give him a little break in a section.
Right.
So it was brought up, and I thought about it, and then I was kind of like back and forth, like, man, that's a lot of stress. Like, they're going for the championship. I don't want all this on my shoulders. It's like, it's my shot.
Oh, you mean about getting put in the seat, right?
Yeah. So then I was like, you know what? I'd rather have me in there than anybody else. Like, I feel like I can definitely get it there to him. You know, I don't even trust anybody.
Right.
So like, I'm gonna do it, and then so we talked about it, and then. So I did a little section from like 365 to 550, and it gave them a break, and plus pre-running, that's just less stuff they got to worry about, and they can focus on more mileage for their section. And
well, to have somebody competent keep the car moving while you guys are resting, right? Even if it isn't going as fast as you might have driven it or faster than you might have driven it, just the fact that it keeps moving, keeps clocking miles, you know, while you get a few minutes to rest and change your clothes and whatever it takes, eat, you know, close your eyes for a minute. But yeah.
But so, I mean, the race was going really good when they got it to me, and they started, I think, rear start last or somewhere in the very back. Mm-hmm. So when they got it to me, they were in, I think, physical second. So that was like a lot of stress. Like, oh man,
you got to keep this spot.
And I'm heading to San Felipe, and I was like, man, I don't want to like lose time in there. But we got in, we got going, and I never drove his car at night, and I probably drove it maybe for 5-10 minutes, like a couple weeks before. So it took us a while to kind of like, we're just kind of getting warmed up, and third place caught us on the actual tractor trail, gave us a pretty good hit, and I was like, oh man, like it's starting.
Yeah, I'm back where I started.
But I believe it broke the muffler off when he hit us. So from there on, I like literally, and they don't run a Parker pumper, so my helmet.
He's sucking dust in through the hole in his helmet.
Well, the Parker pumper, you know, mine's like open, you know, and the muffler's gone.
Oh, noise.
And I think that's why it was just so, I could not hear my navigator.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like stressful. Like, oh man, we're going into San Felipe, and like, there's so many lines, so many notes we made. I'm like, I'm not going to be able to hear them. So I was kind of stressed. And then
but you caught that guy that knocked the muffler off, right?
Yeah, once we got going, I was like, oh man, this car works so good. Like like we're just cruising but moving good. And yeah, I just started getting comfortable, and like, man, we just started clicking miles, and I couldn't hear him, so I basically just said, you're going to have to point. You know, I couldn't hear like rocks or dangers, but I was like, you're going to have to point which way. And then only time I can hear him, like going into a corner and I off the throttle, I can kind of hear him, but there's really not much going on right there.
Yeah, you're going into a corner.
Yeah.
So I was basically just driving, kind of just what I can see, and then as he was pointing, but then we saw the dust, so I was like, oh, that's him. So then we caught him in the whoops, no problem. Gave him a little love tap.
Did you knock his muffler off?
I gave him a good tap.
Okay, yeah. His neck's feeling it, right?
And then I'm like, okay, cool, I'm back where Kaden gave me the car.
Yeah, didn't lose time.
So now we're just going to get the car to him, and we never had any problems, never had to get out of the car. At one point we did, I think something happened with the fuel pump switch, but I don't know if we accidentally hit it when we were trying to hit the lights, but it just died one time, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like we're screwed.
Yeah, what did we just do?
We had.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we'll get to that, but maybe you left it in the wrong position when you gave it back to them, and that's what caused the heartbreak.
But no, so we figured it out, hit the fuel pump button, everything started right up, and then got going again, and then, but yeah, other than that was our only really hiccup.
No flats in the middle of the night.
No flats. No, we never got out of the car.
Awesome.
So that was like exactly what I wanted.
The fuel pump did end up going. It was only putting about 18 pounds of pressure out on it, so it did lose number one.
That's eventually what stopped the car.
On the first one, yes.
Yeah.
And then number two is what stopped it.
Okay.
2 miles out.
Okay. Yeah, this is the heartbreak that we were talking about. So aside from the torrential rain, the course changed, right? They shortened it by 20 miles or so.
Yeah.
Took you out of the wash into the ranch. Now, I was watching you guys until it got dark. I was watching you try to drive with night vision with no lights on whatsoever, so I gave up looking out at a black screen.
Yeah.
But I turned it off. I got up in the morning. It was early, probably 6. It was light, and the car was running. You guys were moving along good, and I'm like, okay, they got it. This is awesome. I turned the computer off, went and made some breakfast, and came back and turned it on again, and the car stopped, and you're out of the car. And you say, I have a tow strap hooked up. And I'm like, wait, no, this isn't good. You can't. And then you say, we're 8 miles from the finish line, or even closer.
Yeah.
So tell us about that. What exactly happened, and how did you resolve it?
Yeah, we're cruising in, just going, like, we were in a comfortable spot in second, and car died, so tried to refire the car, and it didn't really crank over. It did, like, a turn and then a half, and it stopped. And I was like, crap, that sounds like it seized or something. But we have, like, a switch panel,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know if it was from the water or what, but it ended up, it has like you can set the modes on all your buttons, and you have momentary or strobe, or so you can
Like an S-Pod, or?
Yeah, it's similar to that.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't know if the water got to it, but it ended up changing our fuel pump switch just to a momentary button. But
Didn't know that at the time.
didn't
Right.
figure this out. So then a moto pulled by, and I was just messing with him because he stopped. I'm like, hey, you want to tow us in?
Yeah.
And then
I saw him pull up. It was pretty cool. He seemed like a nice guy. So
he was thinking about it. I'm like, I'm just messing with you, dude. I don't think it's gonna make it. And then there was a truck that was topping off with oil about a mile back or so, maybe 2 miles back. And then he come rolling around, and he ended up towing us in. And you're allowed to tow 1% of the track, so we had like 8.5 miles was what we could do. What we didn't know is you had to go across the finish line on your own power. So he pulled
And
us.
the last mile.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, the last mile. So he pulled us all the way around to the finish. And we're
But
like,
explain the last mile. Like,
yeah,
we
it
couldn't push
was
the car.
yeah, it
Yeah.
was through Nelson Ranch, all the jumps, hills, mud. Like the truck was struggling. I don't know if you saw it.
yeah, I
It was-
watched that, and I didn't see him tow you across the finish line. I mean, it must have been because of all the mud on the camera or what. But I remember they got out, untied the rope, and you guys are standing there, and he drives away. And I'm like, wait, he left him in the middle of nowhere. What's
Yeah.
going on? So you had actually gone across the finish line at that point.
Yeah, because they had moved it from the ceremony, but then
Right.
we were like, well, do we need to go across the ceremony finish line on our own
Yeah.
power, or this or that? So we were talking with Score right there at the finish, trying to figure out what was going on. And then they were like, if you like go and do the last mile again, if you can get your car going, like just do it, and then we'll see what happens on it. Figured out the issue with the car because I tried one more time to see if it would turn over, and it did. So I'm like, it's not seized. If it would have been seized.
Right.
So then I noticed the one fuel pump was only putting like 18 pounds out, and that switch was orange. Then I pressed the other one.
Usually it's orange.
Yeah. Well, the one that went out was orange, and then the other one, I'm like, why is this one blue? But when I hit it, like the fuel pressure went up like 7 pounds. I'm like, what the heck? So then I just like held the button down. No clue that this panel like had that option to do
Mhm.
this. Then held it down, and then it fired up, and I was like, oh, we're going. And
Yeah.
just took off.
So it's momentary. I'll just hold my thumb on it while we drive.
We had Emma hold it, and I took off on access road, dropped back in the top of Nelson, and I was all excited, and it's like muddy and slippery, so we're sliding around everywhere, and her fingers slipping, and the car's like dying. Yeah, and she's
We're there, hang on.
She's like, I'm trying to do it, and like still like everyone just watched us get towed through. That's there at Nelson Ranch, so when we come back through, they're all stoked, and I was getting excited, but the finger on the button wasn't really doing the best, so the car would jump and then it would die.
Yeah.
But we ended up going, finishing the infield, and added about an hour back onto our time, so that was,
Yeah. But still second place in your class.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good. And then first overall for the points. So you got the championship for the year. Really, really good. I watched was it a 6100 truck that towed you in, or?
It was a trophy truck legend.
Oh, okay. A lot of horsepower and a lot of mud coming through the front window. The lack of front window. Yeah.
Kaden's a pretty chill guy, and he was actually like, I don't want to say giggling because it doesn't sound very manly, but like kind of laughing at the fact that we were just getting roosted.
It was just, I remember him saying, "Are you getting roosted?" And she's like over there, "What?" Just covered in mud from head to toe. I mean, you really couldn't even make out that you were people anymore. It just looked like a blob of mud sitting in the front seat.
Yeah, we should have found a 4-wheel drive truck or something.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
When we got on the downhill, I was like, crap, this dude's going to just burn out everywhere. And then it hit the uphill on one of the climbs, and it's like 10 miles an hour just smoking us.
Just splattered with mud.
But if that guy's watching this, thank you so much,
Yeah.
because I don't know his name, but that was life-saving.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing. I didn't think that, you know, people would stop. You know, I heard you on the radio going, "There's a truck coming up on you. He might stop and tow you in." And I'm like, okay, this is it. This is their chance to get somewhere closer where we can figure out what's wrong with the car, because it didn't look like there was really anything where you guys were stopped. I'm sure there was traffic, but I didn't see anybody go by.
Yeah, it wasn't much, and so late in the race that everyone's spread out, so it was
Right.
like that guy was stopped. So on the tracking, it was like, all right, what's the next moving truck? And it was about an hour back, so we're like,
There's a point I was like, Kaden, go get back in the car and I'll push us. Like, there's
I heard
hills
you say
here,
that. I'm like, wait a minute, girl. That's a long way. That's 8 miles, okay?
yeah. And we had a hill. Like we get down to the bottom, but then we're in the bottom, and right where I had parked it, I parked it in the middle so no one could go by without stopping to talk to him. And then once I got, like, that guy, I was like, "Hey, we push or pull us?" And he's like, "Sure." I'm like, "All right, you're going to have to push my car out of the way, but don't take off. I got the strap ready."
Yeah, exactly. Hook it on his bumper as he drives by. We're not losing you, man. We're getting towed in for sure.
Well, you guys were all calm on the video.
I know.
I was like, I'd be all freaking out.
I know. Nobody
You're just
broke
calm,
anything.
Like, I think maybe lost a motor.
Yeah.
I'm like
It was
screaming like.
it was so that's what was such the heartbreak is to spend. I want to say I watched the in-car camera for probably 5 hours, right? And to spend all this much time and to know how hard Nathan worked on the car, and the whole team's down there. You guys are all working together. It's all going really good. My wife was like ready to cry. She's like, "Oh my gosh, they almost made it." And I'm like, "Yeah, 8 miles. I mean, what the hell?" And she's like, "They're going to get it fixed. Don't worry." And then I saw him tow it in. And I think right after you had crossed the finish line being towed, the camera cut out and it didn't come back on. At least I didn't hang around. But I didn't know. I thought they DQ'd you because you got towed over, right? And I'm like, oh, man, Nathan's all this work and all this time and energy and all, these guys drove 815 miles or whatever.
Yeah.
All the way to the finish line to have the fuel pump stop working and
all
didn't
those
get credit
same
for
thoughts
it. Yeah.
were going through our head, mine at least.
And then I think Garrett told me, I asked him on the IM the next morning, I'm like, "What happened?" And he told me the whole story. And I'm like, oh, gosh, I'm so thankful that you guys went back around and you got credit and all of that. But what a heartbreaker to go that far. I'm sure you were like losing your mind.
Yeah, that was stressful.
Nathan's like, "Wait a minute. We got to find a way to figure that out."
And I wasn't sure where they were in points. Like, man, are they going to lose like the championship? Like all this. I'm like, oh my gosh, no way.
Did they stack a bunch of time penalties on for getting towed across, or did it just back out?
We just had our time keep going while we were discussing everything, but I think our only penalties, we missed one of those VCPs that didn't make a beep noise or whatever, so we missed that. And then other than that,
No speeding.
or nothing.
Yeah.
It's pretty clean.
Yeah,
I was
that's
like, it's
good.
okay. Don't feel bad about one, because look at how many everyone else got.
Oh, I know. I mean, there was so much confusion on the course when they changed it. I remember you saying, don't tow us through the wash. You're like, don't go that way, because that's a nightmare.
Yeah.
And so it took you over to the ranch. But I'm really thankful that you guys put the cameras in. Are you going to do that on more races, or?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was we had to get used to being constantly live, but I think it was cool. It was entertaining. We've gotten a lot of really good feedback from everyone watching back at home. And then I think it also just shows like the grit and determination that Kaden has racing, myself as well, but he's got like how many milestone awards?
We have eight of them in a
So
row.
he's finished every mile of every Baja race for 8 years
Yep.
straight.
Yep.
And I think like even there at the end, it's like we didn't give up,
Yeah.
And I think that that shows his family, his crew, everyone that comes down there. Like, if there's a problem, they're going to try to figure it out. And
Well, everyone that follows
prep.
you guys, I mean, I think, you know, sometimes I was watching that in-car feed and there was 50, 60 people sometimes watching, you know, viewers and things like that. Even other employees from this company and employees that used to work for us were watching it and commenting and all kinds of fun stuff. So it was so cool to be able to, gosh, I got the link from Garrett and I turned it on and I just couldn't turn it off. This is just so cool. And like you said, watching him just sit there in the car, you know, you weren't calling out speed, so I don't know how fast he was going, but you know, and I'm looking out the window going, now he's going very fast at this point. My wife's like, how fast do you think? And I'm well, it's got to be 60 or 80 miles an hour in some of the fast spots, you know. It's like, that is incredible to watch something like that. And lucky Nathan got to drive.
Yeah, the car works really good. It was fun.
Well, thanks to you. Seriously, the BILSTEINs have made a huge difference. We had some shock struggles before, and this year has been incredible. The car feels, like you said, it's so fun.
Yeah.
It is so fun to drive in.
Yeah, for sure. I was blown away, like how never really, I mean, I've tested this car a little bit and drove it, whatever, for like 5 minutes, whatever, but when you're on the course and in Mexico and San Felipe whoops, and then you really realize like how hard you can push these shocks, and it just wanted to go faster and go harder, and it started working better, and it was just like
That's what I hear.
It was like easy
from a lot of the drivers that use the Blackhawk products is that they thought they were going fast, right? And then they put these on and they're, wait, I can go a lot faster with these. And Nathan might take a minute to explain what's happening. How is the car able to go faster with these shocks compared to what you had before? You don't have to say the names, but I mean, what's the technology that allows them to drive that fast? Is it the 3-piston design, or is it just the body size, or what makes it perform so well?
For one, BILSTEIN, I mean, obviously does a lot of engineering. Just the quality is like top notch. So, but I think the biggest thing is, you know, it's a 3-inch shock, which it's basically a 3-inch piston, which, you know, is going to help. A lot of those shocks,
A lot of surface area, yeah.
they have the internal bypass, so it's a smaller tube.
Next down the tube, yep.
So I think that really helps a lot. Just the big piston, a lot of control. But the biggest thing is the internal bump stop that we have in the shocks. I mean, it just catches the car you know, you can adjust for it, and when you hit those big G outs, it just doesn't
Softly, yeah.
hit hard and skid plate, and it just slows the car way down. So that just gives you confidence of knowing that, you know, and then you can just push harder. And if you start bottoming out hard and hit skid plate hitting the ground, you're going to start checking up,
Couple clicks,
slowing down.
Yeah.
But like this, you know it's going to take it, and you don't even have to think about it.
I was watching in car, and we basically see out the front window and your helmets didn't seem like, I've been in a race car, right? And your helmet's bouncing off the roll cage, and you're like, I need to put a pad here because it keeps smashing the side of my head in. But it looked pretty comfortable inside the car. Didn't look like there was, I mean, still you're getting beat up no matter what, but it didn't look like it was as bad as it could have been. And the speeds looked good. I didn't hear anybody saying, you're going too slow.
Yeah,
Did she ever tell you that you're going too slow?
maybe. I don't know.
I feel like I try not to, just because he is so technical and always thinking about what he's doing. I'm like, okay, well, if he's slowing down here, it's for a reason.
There's a reason, yeah.
Yeah, it's not smart to go faster, or he's reserving the car for a different part of the race section or something. So I try not to, but sometimes I'm like, I feel like we could go faster.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my nephew rode with me, Bradley Ellis, and there was times where he was kind of telling me like, go, but like I was trying to like save the car a little bit, because when you're accelerating out of some of them corners, there's like really sharp chatter whoops.
Yeah, belts and axles.
So I'm just kind of thinking, I'm gonna go in just a couple more seconds.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna,
Well, let me figure it out here. Get back to you on that.
but he did a great job navigating it. It's not an easy job at all. For what he was trying to tell me, we couldn't hear very good, and he did a great job, getting me to Kaden's for sure. So it was cool.
Yeah, I'm just still so impressed with the overall results of the race, being able to be with you guys inside the car with the cameras. And I was just watching some footage on the screens in our shop, and we were watching some of the trophy truck footage where they have the guy's heart rate and the speed and gas or brake and all that kind of stuff. Are you guys going to put up that kind of information so we can see how fast your heart's beating?
I would love to.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I have no clue how to do that. But
Yeah, I don't know where I think, was Score doing that? Who set that up? Do you know?
I think that's just through their
Just a super expensive in-car system. Yeah. It seems kind of cool, though, if you can actually watch the driver's heartbeat and see how far out of whack they really are. It's like, okay.
Yeah, I wear one of these rings.
Oh,
and I didn't have it on for that race, but previous races I've raced with it, and it's like you burn so many more calories than you think. Because I'm like, I'm just sitting there talking, know, but you're using your core, bouncing around, adrenaline, everything. I think it would be fascinating.
I mean,
have some biofeedback.
You have a real job, and
unfortunately
might explain that real job, because that might explain what you just said. So what actually is the real job? I can't explain what it is. I looked it up, but I'm not sure.
So I have a master's in physician assistant studies. So I'm a mid-level provider underneath a physician, kind of in line with a nurse practitioner, and then slightly a little bit more training than a nurse, or I guess prescriptive authority. And then in having my physician assistant degree, I do aesthetic medicine. So more like Botox and fillers and beauty treatments, but hopefully branching into more of like functional and regenerative medicine. So using some peptides and hormones to like level out the body and get you back to like optimal performance. Using, heart rate, blood pressure, all of those symptoms and feedback mechanisms.
A more holistic approach rather than some sort of drug or shot or something that's man-made, right?
Yeah, hopefully. I would love to learn more about that, but yeah, that's the real job. That's the day-to-day.
So that could be the next step in racing is holistic body maintenance to keep you racing faster, longer, all that kind of stuff. To have that tie-in makes a lot of good sense.
Yeah, it's cool. I love it a lot.
So what's Kaden do every day?
Yeah.
I do a little bit of everything. My dad's a general, so kind of just whatever's needed. We do concrete, dirt work, framing. Framing is probably my favorite thing to do, but like this week we've been working on landscape fire pits. We built a motorbike track for a guy in his backyard.
Nice. Dirt work, yeah.
Yeah, pump track. It's, whatever.
Sounds like fun. That's my background as well. So that is working with your hands or machines or whatever. It shows that you have the respect for the machinery and you know how things work and all that in the racing side of things. So
yeah,
for sure.
It's a lot.
So have you guys set a date for the wedding?
Yeah, it's May 16th.
I know that. I'm glad that you looked at her because she knows a lot more about it than you do. So.
Yeah.
And we don't really care about dates and things like that. We just want to get it done. You have the wedding planned and all that kind of stuff. So that's coming up.
Yeah.
I think she was questioning me on the date.
Yeah.
Seeing if I had answered.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I was thinking May 15th, but you said 16th, and I was like, oh, no, yeah, that's it.
Okay. So he had it right. You had it wrong. Boy, that won't last long.
You were right.
Yeah.
May 16th in Newport Beach, and I think we're going to be doing live streaming. The venue's a little bit smaller,
Sweet.
so
Yeah. Keep it just you two and then the rest on camera.
Yeah, the venue can't hold a ton of people, so we'd love to have you watch via live stream.
Oh, nice. Well, that'll be fun. See if that happens or not. But what about the racing side of things? So congrats on the wedding. I'm sure that will go well. And just watching you guys together, I know that everything's going to go well for you. But what about what's up next for races?
For the rest of this year, we have Rage at the River in Laughlin, and little bit shorter race. It's a fun one. And then getting ready for next year for the King of Hammers Desert Race will be the start for next year.
Nice. So you're going to join us at King of the Hammers. So we'll be there.
Cool.
Nathan will be there to support you as always. That will be, I think, well, you've got Rage at the River. Do we have anything between there that we're doing or no?
No, Rage River is pretty much our last run for the year, and then yeah, KOH and the Martelli Brothers and Best Desert joined up.
That's right.
So I think that's gaining a little bit of momentum for sure. I think people are trying to figure it out what their plan is for next year.
So KOH is a lap race, right? So it's what, 4 or 5 big laps, or how does that work?
Yeah, it's usually maybe like 100 and something mile loop, I think, or something.
Oh, that's a big loop then. Okay.
Yeah, I think, and depending on, I guess, what they're feeling like is how the track goes. Sometimes it's
How bad the Marines blew up the race course the weekend before. Yeah.
sometimes it's 200, sometimes it's 250. I think one year it was only like 170, so it's just kind of whatever.
Sometimes they switch up like the laps, right? Like you'll do a small one and then a big
Yeah. They've done that in the past, but that'll be interesting. So is this going to be your first time at King of the Hammers?
No, I've raced the desert one, I think, every year, and then I tried the rocks once, and that was a mess. might as well throw your car away after.
Exactly. Just let it roll down the hill when you're done and let someone scrap it and pick up the pieces.
Yeah. It was fun. I like pre-running the rocks a lot more than racing. It was kind of like a little like brain game Tetris type thing.
Challenges,
But,
yeah.
I got in the race and ended up hitting another car in the rocks, and it broke my car. His car was broke. I was trying to get around him. And then, like, the guy behind me was just yelling at me and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude,
Not fun.
yeah.
I mean, you see a lot of that in that race. They say that if you break down in King of the Hammers, your traction for the car behind you,
Yeah.
more or less. So one thing I wanted to ask all of you sitting here at the table, I wasn't there, but I saw some video of you guys passing the trophy truck that somebody said was viral. So what was that all about? I mean, how do you pass a trophy truck?
I don't know. We were behind him, and I was like, I don't know what this guy's doing, if he's going full speed, if he's hurt, but I was like, we might as well go around him. We obviously caught him, so probably about 5 miles out, I was like, if we can get a little closer. I know, like, that turn last year, I had passed another UTV there in that turn, so I was like, I like that turn.
Mm-hmm.
And just thinking, and then about a mile from the turn, I was like, all right, I got a right line that's not as silty as this left line, and the dude hopped right in the main line, and then
the silty one.
Yeah.
he hopped right in the silt, and we popped out, and I was like, oh, we got him. If he doesn't set up very well for the corner, we can swing it, because VCP's like on the other side of the corner, so I swung it really wide, and you see on the video, like, it comes like way low. They squared up the whole corner where he was kind of, I don't know what he was
Wallowing
doing
in the
but
silt.
yeah, so squared her up and carried much
He
speed.
was going to the bathroom or something. Taking a break there.
Yeah. Then after that, I was like, holy cow, we just totally roosted that guy. He's in an 8,000-pound truck.
Yeah.
Probably not stoked, so I was like, we better stay on it.
Yeah,
So
you
you better
better
get
keep
away
going,
from him.
because that's a 1,000 horsepower with some 40s on it. That's gonna really make a mess out of you if he catches you again. People ask me about that. How does a side by side pass a trophy truck? And I'm like, watch this video. This is how it happens, right? So I wanted to ask that because a few people had mentioned it to me, and Garrett said, this thing went viral. And I watched it, and I'm like, whoa, that's a killer pass. I got to talk about that on podcast because it was just so cool.
Yeah, I mean, these UTVs they're getting really close to some truck times.
That's what we were talking about before we started the cameras, is that, there's potential for UTVs to maybe swing some first overall.
Yeah, I think it depends on the terrain of the track. The tighter, more technical stuff is usually where they make up a little more time, but there's a couple close ones this year for sure.
And it's something we battle with, right? Because we want to try to keep our car alive for the whole season. And when you're pushing that hard, you risk completely destroying it and having to rebuild it. So it's kind of a fine line of like, what opportunities do you want to chase, or what records do you want to break?
Right.
Yeah.
This year we were going for our points. We're stacking up well. So we were like, okay, we're going to chase like this avenue this year.
I think that's a wise choice, because that's where, I don't want to say like fame and recognition, but that's where I think the people see more recognition is with the points championship. So like you said, he wins all these awards for finishing the most miles. That proves that you got the stick-to-itiveness, to get through all those races. And the points chase is the same thing, where it's not just one race or, just pick the shortest one and go as fast as you can and win. Yay! It's the whole season, clocking all the season. And that's been Nathan's challenge, is to find a racer that we can put this wonderful product on and have them put it on the podium. And you guys did that, plus, with all the could be drama, lots of rain, lots of mud, and a fuel pump that was on momentary. It was just such an incredible thing to watch. We're so thankful for all your guys' hard work. I mean, this takes us back to 20 years ago when BILSTEIN was huge into desert racing. We've got that same feeling now. We're starting to feel like it was back then when, we were the king of the desert for a long time. And now we're starting to feel close to that again.
Yeah,
thanks to all the hard work. So
I think we are too, thanks to all of your hard work and tuning and hours of engineering and testing and everything else. Yeah, we're very thankful to be on this team.
Super happy with the results. Super happy that you guys are such a great team. Again, if people haven't experienced the in-car, are you guys going to post it so you can rewatch it, or no?
We tried, but after 12 hours, you're not allowed to post.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
That's right. It's there's some rules with that internet stuff that.
So we need to do the live feed, crop it, new link at 12 hours. We were going to be able to get the whole race on there. So learn.
Yeah, we were bummed. I was so excited to watch it back. Especially getting hit in the head with a rock. I wanted to see it.
Yeah.
It was a sore subject. Bummed about it, but I would have loved to post it.
Yeah, I wanted to rewatch some of it as well. Especially, I didn't get to watch Nathan drive because it was in the middle of the night and I was trying to sleep. But so hopefully we'll be able to work that out and more people will get to watch. But you got anything else? Cover it all? I mean, we just covered a tiny bit of it, but did you guys have anything else you wanted to share with the viewers or listeners or anything? Or did we? I'm sure you have some teams you wanted to, or some people on your team that you wanted to shout out to. Anybody you want to recognize while we're here?
Just on the moment, really quick, on the live stream, we have to thank Starstream because they helped us out with that setup, and everyone loved it. We loved it. Prior to that, we were just trying to, piece it together and get it on YouTube. But yeah, thank you to Starstream.
That's an amazing product. I would shout out to them too. I think that's really going to revolutionize racing for those of us that don't get to go anymore. It just makes it so much fun.
Yeah.
So exciting for us.
For sure. Watch. Yeah, I mean, I just like to thank, the Wells family for letting me help them out in the race, and all them BILSTEIN employees that helped us, Kyler and my nephew Bradley, and there's more people, all the engineers. I mean, everybody that helps all this go together, marketing, Garrett, doing all the videoing, and just it takes a huge team effort to do all this, and it's really cool that it all just kind of went together pretty well.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a word that Chelsea likes to use, is it happened organically.
Yes.
Yes. It just kind of, it all the stars aligned, and you guys ended up on the podium with the most points of any driver ever.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. But yeah, I'd like to thank everyone on the pit crew too. I mean, and all the sponsors. The sponsors helped get us to the race and through the race, but without the pit crew, we wouldn't even have fuel in our cars. So
yeah.
We had a great crew helping us pre-run and stuff.
Yeah.
That was with Kaden's.
Can imagine just.
So, just all their help. I mean, it's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. To make it all happen, for sure.
And your parents do a great job managing all of it. I mean, they're so hands-on, and your mom organizing all of the Airbnbs and the travel, and everyone puts in a lot of work behind the scenes that isn't just our two bobbleheads in the car.
Right. I mean, when you're a smaller team like that, there's so much work that needs to be shared, and you wear more than one hat. Like you said, there's a travel agent, but it's someone's mom, right?
Yeah.
It's not a travel agent, it's someone else doing double duty.
Yeah.
Right? So such a huge effort, and I think that really comes across, and that's why I like you guys so much. Is it's just the whole family attitude comes across with the whole situation, the whole race, start to finish, and then you add in the BILSTEIN family, which is how we look at ourselves here. Just seemed like a really good fit, and so thankful for all your hard work.
Oh, it was so cool having you guys at the finish line
And
with their cool shirts.
yes, I didn't get one because they only made like 6, and you guys got them all. No, super cool, yeah. So we're gonna call it a wrap on this episode. Again, this is our second recap with the Baja 1000 results. We'd like to ask if you have questions or comments for anybody sitting here. Please put those down in the comment section, and we'll respond to them. Other than that, be sure to tune in for the next episode of Shock Talk. We'll see you then.